I thought the complete opposite. I thought you needed money, you needed a rich dad, a rich mom.
School teaches you how to pass tests, follow rules, and memorize facts, but it rarely teaches you how to build wealth, how money actually works, how freedom is created. The most powerful money lessons, you won't find them in a classroom. You find them in real life, through risk, failure, discipline, and awareness. In this breakdown, we're covering 12 money truths most people never learn early enough. These aren't budgeting tips or side hustle hacks. They're foundational mindsets that shape how wealthy people think, earn, and move. If you've ever felt like the system skipped the real stuff, this is the education you should have gotten.
This was in a U.S. Federal Trade Commission settlement. In the documentation, it said it was just too easy for kids to make an in-app purchase. The Imagineers at Disney were charged with making the parks.
Phase 1. Money buys time. Not just things. Most people see money as a tool to buy more stuff, but the wealthy know the real power of money is freedom. Freedom from clocking in. Freedom to say no. Freedom to focus on what matters. That starts with shifting how you value it. Every dollar saved or earned isn't just cash, it's time banked. It's hours you no longer have to trade for survival. Once you understand that, spending changes. You stop thinking in price tags and start thinking in time costs. That's when money becomes a tool for living, not just consuming. And that shift, it changes everything.
And that was so valuable to me that I would do it for just a little bit of money if they wouldn't pay me enough. I would even do it for free, a lot, until I reached the point.
Phase 2. Saving alone won't set you free. Saving is smart, but saving alone won't build wealth. If your money isn't growing, it's shrinking, quietly, slowly, through inflation and lost opportunity. Schools teach you to stash money, but they don't teach you how to use it. Wealthy people invest. They put money into assets that grow, pay them back, and work while they sleep. Whether it's a business, a skill, or a long-term play, money needs motion. Saving is step 1. But without action, it becomes a safety net, not a ladder. If you want financial freedom, you can't just protect your money. You have to activate it.
Talk more about sports and celebrities than we do money and personal finance. Money is such a taboo subject. We tend to avoid it to prevent arguments and feelings.
Phase 3. Debt can be a tool or a trap. Debt isn't good or bad. It's power. And like all power, it depends on how you use it. School warns you to avoid it, but rarely teaches how to leverage it. The wealthy use debt to buy things that grow, like real estate, education, or assets. Most people use it for things that lose value. That's the trap. If you borrow to survive, you stay stuck. If you borrow to scale, you get leverage. The key, intent. Understand the cost, the risk, and the return. Use debt with strategy, not emotion. Done right, it can open doors. Done wrong, it becomes a cage.
I can tell you what's happened. All that's changed is your perspective. But with a change in perspective, it can lead to a profoundly different outcome. In any
84. Income doesn't equal wealth. You can earn a lot and still be broke. You can earn a little and still be free. Because wealth isn't about income, it's about what you keep, grow, and control. Schools focus on earning potential, but they rarely teach you how to manage lifestyle creep, taxes, or habits. Wealthy people live on less than they make, invest the difference, and avoid traps that drain cash fast. It's not flashy, it's disciplined. And over time, it adds up. If you chase a high paycheck but ignore your behaviors, you'll stay in the cycle. Real wealth starts with control, not just hustle. Phase 5. Your money mindset is inherited. Until you rewrite it, most people absorb their money beliefs from family, culture, or struggle, without ever questioning them. You learn that money is hard to get, bad to talk about, or something only others have. But here's the truth: your money story isn't fixed. You can rewrite it. But first, you have to become aware of it. Why do you spend when you're stressed? Why does saving feel unsafe? Why do you avoid thinking about money at all? The wealthy question their defaults. They examine their beliefs, and then they build new ones. Wealth starts in your head before it ever shows up in your hands. Phase 6. Income streams create stability, not jobs. We're told a job equals security. But as soon as that paycheck stops, so does everything. That's not stability. That's dependence. Wealthy people don't rely on one stream. They build multiple, some active, some passive. Some take time, others take risk. But each one reduces dependency. School trains you to be a great employee, but wealth comes from becoming a builder, owner, or investor. That doesn't mean quitting everything. It means diversifying your flow. When one stream slows down, the others keep going. That's stability, not waiting for a raise. But building income that doesn't need permission. Case 7. Your network affects your net worth. It's a cliche, but it's true. Money flows through people. Relationships open doors, offer ideas, reveal blind spots, and change how you think. School teaches competition. Wealth requires collaboration. The wealthiest people learn, earn, and grow through others. They build circles of support, information, and opportunity. And it's not about using people. It's about surrounding yourself with the kind of energy that pulls you forward. If your environment normalizes struggle, you'll stay there. If it normalizes growth, you'll level up. Money isn't just math, it's momentum. And your circle either builds it or bleeds it. Time spent is more expensive than money spent. You'll get more money in life, but never more time. Yet most people are reckless with time and stingy with money. That's backward. School trains you to trade hours for income, but wealth teaches you to guard time like treasure. That's why the wealthy outsource, automate, and delegate. Not because they're lazy, but because time is their most valuable asset. If something costs you hours and only saves you a few dollars, it's probably not worth it. Smart money moves aren't always about spending less. Sometimes they're about spending smarter. Protect your time. That's the real flex. Phase 9. Financial freedom is a skill, not a destination. People think freedom comes when you hit a certain level, but that level keeps moving. More money, more goals, more pressure. Here's the shift: freedom is built, not found. It's a skill like any other. You build it through choices, discipline, and awareness. You train it every time you say no to impulse and yes to purpose. You don't wait until you're rich to feel free. You start now by making better decisions with what you have. And when you do, you stop being owned by money. You start owning your life. That's what freedom actually looks like. Phase 10. Scarcity thinking blocks abundance. If you believe there's never enough, you'll operate from fear. You'll hoard. You'll hesitate. You'll sabotage. Wealthy people don't think in scarcity. They think in possibility. Not because they're naive, but because they've trained their minds to see options. That mindset lets them spot opportunities others miss. It lets them take calculated risks. It lets them grow. Scarcity thinking says, if you win, I lose. Abundance thinking says, there's room for all of us. The shift is subtle but massive. You build more when you believe there's more to build. That's not toxic positivity. It's strategic optimism, and it changes the game. 11. Emotion drives every money decision. Money feels logical, but most of your money moves are emotional. Fear, shame, guilt, pride, insecurity. They all shape how you save, spend, and invest. School teaches you formulas, but it rarely teaches you to understand yourself. If you don't know your triggers, you'll keep repeating patterns. You'll spend to cope, save to feel safe, avoid financial growth because it feels risky. Wealthy people get curious about their emotions. They pause, reflect, then make moves. If you want better results, don't just study spreadsheets, study yourself. Your money mirrors your mindset. Change that, and your entire financial story shifts. For 12. No one's coming to save you. This is the lesson that hurts, but frees you. No one's handing out a map. No one's teaching you the full game. Not school, not your job, not the system. The people who win financially don't wait for permission. They self-educate, experiment, fail, adjust, and build. They take responsibility for what they weren't taught. And that ownership, it's power. No excuses, no saviors. Just you and the decisions you make from here. That might feel heavy, but it's also the unlock. Because once you stop waiting, you start moving. And when you start moving, you start winning. Money isn't just about numbers. It's about habits, beliefs, awareness, and choices, none of which school really teaches. But now you know. The most powerful lessons are the ones you apply. You don't need to master all 12. Just pick one. Start there, build momentum, and shift your financial story one smart move at a time. If this gave you something real to think about, drop a comment, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more content that actually builds your future, not just your feed.